So I know you just got a video yesterday. I know that we're good. What I talked about yesterday may just see a blend into today. But what I talked about yesterday was actually 2 days ago. What you received was after it was submitted and reviewed, and it took over, I think, 24 hours from submission to release capability. That's why you're not getting the really up to date as I hoped you would. But we're going to try and get you as fast as we can. But up to date anymore, what is up to date, right? When you're talking about interest rates and people are mainly concerned about interest rate, what is up to date? Right now, today is the 23rd of May. I don't know about you guys, but I attended graduation last night, high school graduation. It was my last child graduating, which was kind of a mind F, if you will. Here I have four kids. What seems like my entire adult life has been centered around family. I graduated high school 18, actually halfway through my senior year, took off to the oil fields of Wyoming, worked up there, came back, started life at 23 years, actually 20. Geez, I guess I got married at 22. I had my first kid at 23, and it was just bam, 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 bam from there, right? Just four kids, growing life. There's all about that. Now I've got three kids out of the house, married, three grandkids, and my last one just graduated. So next graduation I have to attend, and when you're in Arizona, attending graduations kind of sucks. You're happy for them, you want to be there, you want to celebrate them, but it's outside, man. That thing starts at 7, but you got to get a seat. It's in the stadium where the sun has been baking that aluminum seating all day. Then you get there and you got to get an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours early to get something decent to sit at so you can see what's going on and not be sitting in the sunlight because the sun's going down into, of course, into the west. You want to be on the western side of the football stadium. So you're getting the sun to your back, not right there in your face. Because all previous years, I'm like, this sucks to come here this early. So I get stuck with the stuff in my face. This year, we went early, we sat, hung out, experienced the whole thing. I got to walk around with my granddaughter, Heather, for quite a bit, which is also good. Sitting on those hard freaking seats suck. But I'm digressing. I'm all over the place. What I just want to say is congratulations to those who have graduated. One thing of advice, thoughts for you. You guys have probably the best opportunity that exists ever for graduating students. Now, I know that might sound weird when you think back on, wow, wait a minute, how the economy has changed and jobs are, look at the job situation, all that. But consider this. When I graduated high school, I graduated the graduating class of 80, I think 87 or 89 people, something like that. When we applied for jobs at that age, anything I applied for, I had 17, 18 guys applying for the same job. And we all grew up in farms or cattle ranches. All these guys worked. They knew how to work. Those guys were up early, bed late, getting work done for the family, constantly working, but they need to make some extra money. So these guys knew how to work. So when they were deciding on who to hire, man, it could have been any one of us would have been a fine pick for those guys. There was no standing out whatsoever as who knew who. That was it. So to get a job when I come out of high school was freaking tough, really tough. The competition was extreme. And when they did offer us jobs, they offered them mostly part-time. That way they didn't have to pay the full-time stuff. Get two or three guys in there, do the part-time, is better off. That's the world I grew up in. That's what I had to fight through. You guys, not a lot of people want to work. If you go into your life and you start to work in the workforce and you want to do a job so you start earning and deciding how do I want to go about entrepreneurship, whatever I want to do, but you got to start somewhere. Right. Sometimes, and God bless those and get right out of the gate and build a business. That's awesome too. If you want to do that, hell yes, that would be awesome. Do it while the stakes are small. But if you step into the workforce, and the principles work the same all the time, tactics and strategies will continue to change. It's the principles that stay the same. Here are basic principles. You got to get a routine in place. You got to get a plan in place. You got to work that plan all the damn time. But also know when the plan's not working, where you got to pivot. You're going to have to do it. But if you go into the workforce, and this also works in your entrepreneurship, you got to ask whoever your supervisor is when you're applying and you actually get that job. You got to prove that you will do the work first. Then when you talk to them, explain to them that you want to be the best there is at this job. What does it take to be the best at that job? Then ask them, what do you do when there's nothing else to do? You find a day where things are just done. Don't sit on your phone and scroll. That's what everybody else does. Stand out, pick up a broom, sweep the floor, do something. Find out what that is. Stay busy, stay occupied. Look at things on how to make things better. Look for efficiencies that are missing. You give to them, they'll give back to you. Loyalty starts with you. Too often people think that loyalty has to do with how long you're on the job. That doesn't matter. I've had people argue with me that, hey, man, I was your best employee last year or the year before, but what about right now? Right? If I started, I was number one in Arizona in the as a loan originator a few years ago. Number seven in the United States. Number one in when it comes to real estate investment lending. But if I just stop today, does that help my staff? Does it help my clients? I can't go just say, hey, I was badass 2 years ago, so you should just do whatever for me. No, we got to keep performing all the time, constantly perform. Always make a better version of you every single day. That's the best advice I can give you guys graduating. I pray to all things holy that you do well going into your life. Think through things, have a mental plan, execute on a plan all the time. So let's get into the market so I can show you guys what is happening. Well, first off, I'm going to go back to that one site that everybody likes to talk about. Well, this is what they say the interest rate should be. Here is our buddies over at Bankrate, which I just showed you yesterday, but it was actually 2 days ago. Showed you 2 days ago that they were lagging, right? Still saying the same interest rate, 6.89, even though we've seen some volatility, they're going off an average, guys. Look at this. So now they're showing 517. So not quite as old, but still old, still lagging a week. Probably gonna get an update tomorrow. I'm guessing this is always done on a Saturday. But it's interesting how they didn't, but that 17 was not available. It was the day before yesterday, so it was lagging even more. So now it's the 17th, which is almost a week ago. So just understand, you got to look at these charts of where they're coming from on this. So 517. Now let's look at the MBS chart. Now look here. 517. We're actually going off of the 16th, which is here. Not much different than where we are right now. So there's not a big, actually, no, this down here. Sorry, this is a drop. So this is where it was. This is where it is here. So that drop, comparatively speaking, we're going to look at here is somewhere right around, it's going to push about 0.5%. So it's going to be 0.5% more expensive today than it would have been on the 16th or 17th, whatever that might be. But let's look back where it said before, because it was basing it before off of the 9th. So now we're going to go back here to the 9th right here. And look at this. If we're going off of the 9th, which would be this red line here, all the way down to here, guys, that's 91 basis points. That's nearly a full percentage cost different. But yet they're still issuing the same rate average as it was back on that date for the 17th as well. So not showing a whole lot of money. Look at all the movement in the bonds. It's all been negative in these downward channels. Yeah, we've had some days that were up, so people probably locked in these up days. Then some locks in the down day. Then we had these down days. So what they're probably doing, they're taking this average. So don't think what is out there is what reality is, especially when they're quoting off of what is for people's owner occupied. That's a whole different bond pool that they're pulling from. That's a whole other place they're pulling money from to establish an interest rate. Where you're pulling money from when it comes to more the investor loans is a higher coupon. When you're talking about DSCR, completely different altogether. That's a private label security, not even verifiable on here. Doesn't move near as often, but when that moves, it's because shit got ugly. Now let's go back to it real quick. Let's take a look and see what's also happening here. This channel. This downward channel has proven to be very, very effective barriers, these bumpers, as this is going right down. As it goes down, interest rates go up. And look, we've drawn this out. We've been running this channel since way back in March. And we're showing that this is a very, very effective gauge of where things are going to go. They're going up. Now, we broke below this line. It actually acted as a ceiling yesterday. We broke through at the very close. I'm going to zoom in on this thing here for you. We broke through it at the close. We were literally hitting this channel quite a bit. We broke through the close, got up, and since we closed above today, we had a big gap up open and then a decline. Now, the only thing, I don't know what caused the gap up. I haven't seen what caused that gap up open, but it pulled it right back down immediately. There's somebody bid in here, bought it up, and then they just lost as it came back down. There's a lot of sell-off at that point. But what we have is new home sales. Now, when you look at that economic data, we had new home sales saying that it came in. It was forecast at 690,000, came at 743,000. That's quite a bit higher. And then the prior was revised. It was revised from 724,000 to 670,000. So we're showing some strength out there. People are buying houses. So since people are buying houses, it's gonna be inflationary. It's gonna have some of that inflation. Now, did that do all that movement? I don't think so, because that's a lot of negative movement in one move, right? Big jump up and then a sell out before the day's even really gotten started. But we also had those, we talked about the continuing claims, existing home sales. The existing home sales are actually kind of down. It's the new home sales that are up. So very interesting stuff. So that's where we're at today. Congratulations, graduates. Best of luck to you guys. I pray that as you get out there, start reading good stuff, man. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Master Key System. God, grab that book. That's an amazing book. Two Chairs. That's one you may want to look at too. That book gets you establishing some pretty good habits. So I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you on Tuesday.